Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Join me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Pedro's Creative Tech here at Adafruit. And every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. We're hanging out in the Discord chat room if you'd like to join us. Throughout the show, you can drop us a comment, question, GIFs, GIFs, memes, all that and more on discord.gg/Adafruit. You getting a phone call there from the spammers. We have a new segment where viewers call in live and we take phone calls, call for help style. Hello, everybody in the Discord chat room. What am I else going to say? It is episode 471. It is Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. Hello, Squid.jpg, Dewester, hanging out in the chats. We're also streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and X. So if anyone wants to drop any comments, we can bring them in. Also, hello to Nikita on YouTube. Thank you for joining us live. And everybody else watching on the archive.
Good morning.
Good morning, folks. We have a packed show. So much stuff. We have a brand new segment where we're going to take a look at some AI-generated 3D CAD tools. We are also we have a new project. We'll quickly look at that because we have so much to talk about. We have new prototypes, WLED demos with Sparkle Motion, a handful of community makes, a Timelapse Tuesday, probably some shop talk, so much stuff. We got a coupon code. If you'd like to support your maker habit, get some stuff from Adafruit, use our 10% off discount code STEAMCOAT. STEAMCOAT will get 10% off your order. Let's go to adafruit.com/free and find out what freebies you get for different tiers. For orders of $99 or more, you get a free PCB coaster with the golden Adafruit logo. If your order is $149 or more, you'll get the PCB coaster plus a free Adafruit KB2040. It's a lovely dev board. And if your order is $199 or more, you get the KB2040, the PCB coaster, and free UPS ground shipping for continental US only. So those are the deals going on. All right. That is the show intro.
Wrench My Rig says they got the coaster the other day. Which one?
Yeah, you get a random assortment of coasters.
Do we still have them? They're
all limited edition at this point. I don't think we're... those are the old ones. Yeah, that's the one. The Adafruit Gold logo one is the right one. The other one you're looking for is like a rare PCB coaster. We used to stock these. It was a collab with, I forgot their name. I think it was Boldport. It was like subscription in the
yes
2010s. Forget. Bringing it back. All right. Shall we jump into this week's project?
Yeah, this week's project is the coat stand.
Stand.
Next year with coming out with some Mickey inspired icons for this coat stand.
The mouse who showed up in
IKEA stand. This actually makes it super useful, which I did not realize until I was filming the video, adding all of the accessories to it, and I was like, oh wow, you can actually add multiple accessories instead of just one, with adding like the glove and even the helm on here. So this is a really cool hack to update your coat stand from IKEA. It's only $24. It was PT sent this over. He was inspired by, what was it, another Sunday or something, that store that was selling these Mickey inspired ones. And of course, those are going to be like $100 or something like that. So it's really cool that we could modify this cheap $24 one that's super capable. It has, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks that you can add icons to. And I didn't show it in the video, but you can see it in the product listing. The bottom two is
it's a storage bucket. Umbrellas and whatever else, shoes or something. Yeah,
I was used it as a trash can.
That's funny. Yeah, throw away the...
Super handy, super relevant, especially since, remember the coat little hangers that we have by the front door? One of
Yeah.
them popped off because
Oh,
it's
they popped off.
drilled into a drywall. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, put all the coats on this now, but super
Yeah,
handy.
it's nice. Yeah, it's made out of metal, and I really like the bent tubes have like the iconic kind of cartoon rubber band kind of effect. So the hands coming out really look good. Like it matches the aesthetic really good.
Yeah, so these were modeled in the sculpting environment inside of Fusion. So spent some time getting all the bubbly look to it. I'm very
Yeah.
happy with the way they were able to get that to look all nice and smooth. We did experiment with doing the dual color, but that took like quadruple the time instead of just printing out the glove by itself and the little lines separately and then just press fitting them on with some adhesion, some super glue.
Yep, that's the way to go.
It's a lot more easier to do. One that definitely benefited from having it dual extruded was the little sailor hat, and that is just using 3 different colors. We got the white for the lid, and then the little emblem. We have like a marble for the center, and then the black for the little puffy top. And that's usually how I see it depicted in the Google search for Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
The lid actually does a pretty good job too of being like a little holder for a hat, the way that it flips up, like like all of the parts of the icon have do a pretty good job of holding things on. Even the helm with like the dog harness, good job having each one of these hooks have be like a separate little accessory, like I don't know, like a mask or something small.
Yeah.
And you were impressed with the quality of the helm that came out. This only had support material on these 2 bottom little cylinders. The rest had no support structures. So super impressed with the Bamboo's ability to print that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it just prints tallways like on the Z-axis, and wow, impressive.
Yeah. So super easy way to just press fits into each one of these hooks, and it definitely is super useful in terms of adding how many accessories you can add to it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is we're saying a cheap way to sort of upgrade your coat stand.
Yeah. Speaking of the coat stand, real quick, this is the product page. Alienas is the name of the product. Just type in hat and coat stand, and it comes right up. I really like IKEA's website. It has AR, so you can like see the 3D model in your space, and they give you dimensions. This is a 3D model that you can zoom in and see it, which is pretty cool.
I forgot to mention the little hooks that it comes with as well. So
oh yeah, so what about these hooks? They kind of hang on there and they clip on, I guess.
These little hooks go right on there, and then you have additional little hooks. So you can add even more.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. So if you're on your mobile device, you can click on View in 3D, and it'll show it. So here's some lifestyle images of the coat rack with like additional things at the base.
Yoga mat on the inside.
Yoga mat, yeah, you get your umbrellas in the corner of the entryways where
right next to the pegboard, of course.
Yeah, and it's only $25, so it's a cheap.
It's a really good deal.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you could 3D print the stand, but why do that when?
No, it's so big. It's all metal.
The price of a real spool filament.
It would be.
Bad at all.
Yeah. When you pick it up, it comes in I think 2 different boxes from IKEA. So be aware of that. We almost walked out without having the bottom.
That's funny, really. Okay.
It says right on the box too.
Yeah.
Like,
so you assemble it by like screwing things in or snap?
Yeah. I should have put the video on here of me assembling it. But I'll put it on my social.
Yeah, I'll watch that reel on your Instagram.
But it's super easy. It comes with the Allen key to assemble everything. Super easy.
Yeah. Cool.
It's a little intimidating, but no, it's
really
easy from IKEA.
Yeah. Their instructions are always pictures and no words. It looks, when I look at the product page, it looks so empty, like bare without the gloves. I'm so used to seeing it. It kind of looks like unfinished.
Right.
So really cool.
It definitely adds to the design having it have these icons on there.
Yeah.
It looks empty with the just the product page that they have it without.
Yeah. So cool. If you want to Here, I'll load this up for you.
Oh.
The Learn Guide really just kind of shows you some 3D printing settings and
Yeah, it's pretty much the little container for the links to download the parts. So is that my screen?
yeah, that's your screen.
Okay. Yeah, so
Drive
we'll
away.
scroll down, just a general overview of that, and of course the link to the coat hanger, which I forgot to put. I think Anne or JP put that in.
I
there.
did that. I did that for you.
Thanks.
No worries. I review it too. Don't worry.
Let's see, and then of course for the lawyers.
Yeah. So
BT
as
added
soon as
that.
this came out as a public domain, Steamboat Willie, the cartoon,
There's
BT's
a whole
like,
Reddit
let's do
section
something.
on this.
Really?
So there's
a subreddit on like what people
what parts
using
are
it?
public domain. There was like a whole chatter on because the cartoon didn't have the gloves on during the actual cartoon, but in the intro for it, it did have the gloves. So it's like, the gloves have to be public domain because it was in the intro to the cartoon.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty generic gloves, but
I know, but you know,
yeah,
they love to pick a fight on that.
We didn't even want to say the word Steamboat Willie because just makes it easier to say this public domain cartoon. So going forward, we'll just keep saying 20th century public domain cartoon.
And then a shot of what it looks like, all nicely stacked up with all of the winter accessories.
Yeah, you got your coat.
3D printing page, links to the to download the STL or the step file. So if you want to edit that to a different coat, you can edit the diameter for where it press fits into the hook. Then the PLA settings we were saying before, just using all standard settings for this, nothing fancy. Here's what the supports look like for the helm. I was surprised too. I thought this was going to be a mess. I tried this on the Ultimaker. I tried it on the Cruelty, and it just didn't.
You had like a fail on those.
Oh yeah, because I'm using the Bamboo for other stuff too, so I'm like juggling between prints. Man, it feels like I have one printer.
Yeah, it does, but a very capable printer.
Yeah. Assembly, like we were saying before, the lines you can do a dual extrusion if you want, or dual print if you want. It'd be like 7 hours, or 2 if you just print it and then glue on the little lines.
2 hours, yeah. Sign me up for 2 hours.
And then, of course, all that wasted purge material. Won't have any of that. And assembly is just press fitting them onto the coat. There's enough tolerance so you can rotate it around if you want to give your accessories more space. That's pretty much it. Super simple. Hornet poking design.
Very nice. Yeah.
Window.
Cool. Yeah, I like this one. No electronics, just a little bit of an IKEA. I don't even want to call it an IKEA hack. It's more like an IKEA add-on. So it was a lot of fun.
Yep. Hopefully this product stays around, doesn't get discontinued like some of the past.
It's in stock. It's in stock in my area, and it seems like a pretty common thing. There's one in blue, apparently.
Blue looks cool, but
blue looks cool, but it wouldn't match. You could always paint it yourself. They have different ones here. It looks like one without the base.
Why is that one more expensive?
Oh, I guess it has more pipes. You see at the top there. So yeah, if you're a designer or looking to design some things, adding stuff to existing products is a really good way to kind of get some practice and, you know, like nailing tolerances and being creative. So
it's cool for a design class, and like we were saying, it definitely adds to the usability.
Yeah,
makes it useful.
Very cool. All right. Cool. All right. Let's check in on. I added the Steamboat GIF because why not? Yeah, here it is. Here's the Steamboat.
They would totally turn this into an LED-driven houseplant-looking coat rack. Oh yeah,
it's good. Yeah,
like a strip on each one.
Yeah, imagine the vines growing up on it and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think you mean it's like instead of the Mickey icons being like
like a cactus and flowers or something.
Yeah, leaves. Yeah. The cactus would look
cactus
cool.
would be fun. Yeah.
This is almost there with the glove.
Mm-hmm.
The stems branch out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
This week's project. Check it out. All free models. Play around with them. Cool. All right. I think we're ready for prototype segment.
Yes.
This week we are doing some 3D printed cases for the lovely WLED Sparkle Motion dev board. So we're going to start stocking some 3D printed SLA cases for the Sparkle Motion board. I'll start with this one. This is the case that we came up with for the Sparkle Motion full size board. We're going to have an Adafruit logo in the back there. But this is kind of the prototype V1. You have a little press button for button 0. You have a cutout for the IR LED, so you can do IR remote control. You can power 12 volts NeoPixels using the barrel jack. You also have USB here. I didn't quite have space for the little selector for like high voltage USB, but it has a press fit case, so you can take off the cover. And then here you can select the voltages for your USB PD power supply. So you can go up to 20 volts here, or 20 volts. You got the ESP32 chip there. What else do we have? You got access to the 3-pin analog port and the 4-pin I2C or STEMMA QT port. So those are all broken out there. And then my favorite piece is the screw block terminal. Let's see if we can. Whoa, don't drop it. Let's see if we can get a close up here. Can you get my screen in there? Oops. I don't know why it disappeared. Come on, get me in there. Yep, there we go. So there's labels here for the grounds, the voltage, and the GPIO pins there. So if you can't quite see it, you can always see it here. They're pretty small labels, but you can make them out if you, yeah, so good on the resolution of the SLA print, so you can get these labels here. You could probably get it on the FDM, but probably want to print it with a high resolution, like 0.1 millimeter layer height. But anyway, we're going to stock these soon, as soon as we get an order in. You can take off the cover and still have access to the wires, which is a nice change. And then you still have access to the flathead screwdriver bits here, so you can tighten the cable. So there's the full version. Now let's talk about the small version. The small mini Sparkle Motion board is pretty similar, but it doesn't have the DC jack. It doesn't have the IR thing. I'm just opening it now. But it does have the STEMMA QT port, the 3-pin port. It has a built-in microphone, which I forgot to mention. This Fall also has this built-in microphone. It does not have the screw block terminals, so you have to solder things. So I did a quick test here with soldering. No screws are needed for both of them. They just kind of lock in and get registered with the little nubs here for the mounting holes. And then the case has 2 mounting tabs that are M3 size. This one, because of the way the buttons are laid out, we have a reset button and the like GPIO button, so that you can use it for triggering things. And then these just press fits, and then you can press the buttons here. So that's nice. And looks like I didn't put it in right. Let me get that open again. So hopefully we get these in stock within the next, there it goes. So there's the USB hole. Hopefully we can get these in stock in the coming weeks, because it takes a little bit to order. We tend to order like 100 of them. And again, we're going to have an Adafruit logo on the bottom there. Yeah, so those are the cases there. I also have a case for the Feather RP2350 with the 2 buttons here for boot and GPIO. Similar I2C, and then a 3-pin debug thing, and then your HSTX DVI HDMI thing, and then USB-C slot here in case you want like extra wires to come out, and then your 2 mounting tabs. This will also be in the shop in coming weeks. Now, what's this glowing thing? This glowing thing is a 16 by 16 NeoPixel matrix with a 3D printed grid diffuser, We stock these in the shop. You could also get them in other places. I just wanted to test out the 2D matrix effects in WLED. So this is running WLED off the Sparkle Motion dev board. And real quick, let me do a demo for my favorite demo here, testing audio, is the EQ effect. So again, this has built-in microphone, and that means you can do these audio-driven effects in WLED. So this
cool.
one is the EQ effect with the rainbows. There's a piece of black LED acrylic, and then just like a bit of a sandwich here with like the frame, the holder here, and then the grid. So there's 3 pieces there that all sandwiched together. You just press fit, no screws needed. Everything's just a friction fit. And we talked about this in 2021. So I made these files available back in 2021, but I used a different hardware setup. You had to set up a doubler, and then your choice of feather, and then a prop maker if you want to have like simple plug and play. So you had to solder things.
So much, yeah.
You got a lot of things going on, and nowadays, now you can just screw block terminal it into the WLED board, and you have a built-in microphone. You have these amazing effects, all built into WLED, which is really cool. And
the awesome web interface,
a nice web interface with tons of effects, and each effect has different sliders that you can play with. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this as a project. The only update I did here was I updated the tolerances so that it would print nice and tight on the Bamboo Labs printer, but I also updated these mounting holes. So you'll have the option, if you want to mount the board directly back there, you can. Right now I have it out here because I want to showcase the SLA case, but the idea is that you would add some standoffs here and attach the board directly to the back, and you have room here for a right angle cable if you want to stand it upright. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It's about 12 millimeters thick, and you got the black LED acrylic that we still stock, and you just cut it or score it and snap it so that it's the size. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little display. And if you want to pick up the matrix, we do stock it, or you can get it somewhere else. But the Sparkle Motion board, hopefully we get those in stock in the coming weeks. This will work with both Sparkle Motion boards. We do have the Mini in stock. The Mini does have the microphone as well. And be sure to use the to look at the Adafruit Learn Guide for the Sparkle Motion Mini to get the audio working, because you have to select different pins in the configuration. But it's easy to do. Just follow along with the guide and set up the pins for the microphone, because the default pins won't work. But you just click the right thing, click the right button, and it'll work, which is pretty cool and pretty easy to use. So depending on whichever one you want, they both support audio. And yeah, so sign up to get notified when these are back in stock. And here we have it demoed with the LED netting. That's pretty cool. We got 3D models of these available as well. I'll probably post up the 3D printed case if you want to print your own case in FDM or even resin, I guess. So we'll have that, but this will be next week's project. It's more of here's Sparkle Motion. Here are the features. Here's the 2 flavors of it, mini and full. And also you can make this cool display for your NeoPixel matrix. If you do want to pick up the NeoPixel matrix or the Sparkle Motion Mini, you can use our coupon code STEAMCOAT and get 10% off your order. Also pick up these JST cables. They're great because you can you can connect a NeoPixel strip or a matrix to it pretty easily. So that's
very awesome.
Always nice. Yeah. So those are the prototype stuff.
That one's so cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Squid.jpg Aaron was saying that was one of the first projects from us that he built.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Posted his own custom code on there. I think that's the same code that you use, Noah, to make the GIFs work on the background there.
A little bit different. The GIFs are the RGB matrix, and then the other one that's doing the rainbow chase is like a CircuitPython LED animation.
Okay.
Yeah, none of those are WLED, so it took us a bit to get to WLED, but I remember installing WLED on the Feather Huzzah maybe a year or two ago, and I was just like blown away because like the way it allows you to really showcase awesome animations on a 2D matrix. You do get some text kind of scrolling, which is kind of neat. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. What is it called? Yeah, there's so many here. Do I just type in text? Scrolling text. This is like a what is it, the date and I think time maybe, which is kind of cool. So you can do some text. Does anyone know if you can do like maybe there's a user mod? I know there's user mods for WLED where you can like add on effects. It'd be cool to do like a GIF add-on so you can have animated GIFs. Maybe I'll play around with that later. But yeah, I just kind of been playing around with the default things, and the audio stuff is new to me because I didn't want to have to set up an analog microphone. So having an I2S microphone built in is awesome because I could just play with these new effects I haven't been able to play with before. So yeah, Sparkle Motion, such an awesome WLED board.
Let's see. Aaron's saying WLED lacks a good way to display the 2D spray animations. There's a way to do it, but it's complicated and not very intuitive.
Not very intuitive, yeah. Yep. Okay. And here is squid.jpegs. GIF here. Oh, I love that. I love the 8-bit little guy here. Yeah. That's a fun one. I like that. Yeah. Little Pac-Man.
Ghosts.
Yep. It'd be cool to do like a snake game where you're like controlling the snake. I think
Did Tim shoot it?
I think Tim said something similar, yeah. That'd be cool. A little 8-bit game. I think that's one of JP's projects he's gonna do. Like with the RGB matrix though.
Yeah.
Again, these are NeoPixels. Different.
Controller.
Yep. Whee! Cool. There's a lot of settings too for audio. Like you can do different what is it called? Like different algorithms for like the type, the sensitivity, the gain. You have all that control. Can the microphone input be processed in AI? I guess that depends. Nikita is saying on asking. Maybe an Arduino. We're mainly focusing on WLED, just kind of looking at that. But yeah, I think the microphone's pretty good though. Cool. All right, so that is prototype.
That AI question is a nice segue into our new segment.
Yeah, so let me get ready here for that. All right, and we're ready. And this is Rapid Render, a new segment where we take a look at some AI CAD tools. This week, we're taking a look at Trellis. So let's take a look here at Trellis. We'll load in the video here.
Oh, no.
Is it this video?
Let me load the website first.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, PT suggested this segment. There's been a lot of AI to 3D printing tools, like the text prompt to modeling tools have been showing up. And we wanted to take a look at them. We've seen some people try them out with some varying results. And we wanted to see if we could produce some actual printable models using these services. So one of the first things that we wanted to check out was, could this model something that's kind of complicated? And the kids have been asking for this Pianosaurus from the Poppy Playtime video game. So I was like, there's no way it's going to be able to do that, right? So we're going to go ahead and try it out. Just grab one of the images from the Google image search here. I'm just dragging it and dropping in there. Let's see if it can process it in real time. It's doing like all of the general settings for it, so no modifications on it. Let's see, it's grabbing one of the available servers and let's see it process here. And the results that I got did pretty good. Of course, there's an error because we're doing this live.
Oh no, really?
Let's see, generate again. Let's see, try that again. No, it's not going to want to do it.
Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
want to cooperate.
I wonder why.
What's
What's under the generate settings?
Well, let me try reloading. Maybe like the session expired or something like that.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see for the generate settings. I didn't do anything fancy for this.
Oh, you got a
just
seed
left-
slider and
Yeah, there's a couple of sliders for sample steps, sample like the guidance strength. Like I didn't touch any of this though.
oh wow, okay.
So let's see if it can generate.
Here it goes.
The time that I tried it at, it will generate like a little turntable model of what it gets.
And did it.
And there you go. This looks pretty good. So the JBL file that it generates, you're able to get a little preview of it here. And then you can extract this and download it and get a STL converter program. We're just using one of the online tools. One of the first things that comes up for under Google search is this one here, image STL. You drop this in and it does a pretty fast job of converting it over.
Yeah.
And once you get your file, that's what I was showing here. It is going to have like some manifold issues. So I brought it into Blender to fix up. And what I'm doing here is just thickening up some of like the necks and the joints for the legs and the arms. Since for a video game, it's not something you're going to need to worry about. But for physically printing something out, we're going to make sure that it's nice and stable and has strength for something you're going to give to your kid so he doesn't break it.
Yeah.
All I'm doing inside of Blender here is doing some cleanup in terms of just going inside, doing some seams for the faces, for mesh, sure that there aren't any intersecting faces. So that's all I'm doing here is making sure that there aren't any holes that were generated. But for like a video or graphics, this would be really good.
Yeah, especially with the textures already like baked in. So you get textures and it's all colored and the general shape is there. It's really nice. So using a tool like Blender allows you to kind of prepare it for like a successful 3D print. Of course, you're going to need some support materials, but if you want to spend some time, you can cut it up, print it in multiple pieces, and assemble it later, which is really nice. Yeah, this is really cool. So this is again Trellis on huggingface.co.
Yeah.
And then we
wanted to take it one step further and actually print it out.
Yes, let's see you 3D print it.
So I'm using the breakaway supports here on the Ultimaker. And it did a really good job printing it at a 0.125 with a variable layer height. And of course, the kids were super excited that they've been bugging me to model this for a while. And it's like, dude, I can't sit there and model this, but AI to the rescue, where you could just sit there and generate something that's pretty close. This would be super handy, especially like when they always like to tease games before it comes out. So if you could just generate a model off of a image, this is super cool to be able to have. And there's the result. Because of the breakaway supports, all of the under, like his belly and everything is like super smooth. So definitely recommend using that as your support material instead of using like the PLA.
Yeah.
And if we jump over to my camera here,
let's take a look.
You see the difference of having one that was unmodified before I brought it into Blender. Because it's AI, it only generated one eye. And then on the other side, you could see it try to build another mouth.
Oh, that's fun.
So inside Blender, here's the modified one where I thickened up his legs, all of his joints. So it is nice and strong. And then I added his other eye. so
Oh
you can
yeah.
see properly.
And it's
And
like balanced. It's not tipping over. That's impressive. Did you
oh,
flatten the bottom with like a plane cut?
yeah, yep. So the bottom's flattened so that
Nice.
you can stand up. Rotated it so that it's level on the bed, and then of course closed up all the intersecting faces. Did some cleanup on the like the claws. So
Mm.
again, things that the video game does not have to worry about. Super thin claws. So went in there and thickened up the tips of that, and then flattened them out so it's not poking the kids. And then added detail like his eye. This is something that they could go in and then like color with like acrylic paint or something like that. So super cool. Or I didn't want to spend any more time. I think I spent like maybe an hour cleaning this up. The print time took about, it was like 16 hours maybe to print with the support material. Printing at the layer height was a 0.12, the variable layer height. So once when it's doing like a 45-degree, it'll print even finer. That's what's making it take that long. And then of course the nozzle switching between the breakaway supports, doing like a cleaning of the nozzle, doing the prime tower, printing out the rest of the PLA portions of this super cool little Pianosaurus.
Dinosaurus.
Yeah, and again, I'm impressed with this being generated from an image.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Who know? What's the resolution of the image? We don't know. It's just
Oh yeah, it's a pretty low resolution image. I think it was
right.
like maybe like a megabyte or a couple
Yeah.
kilobytes.
Yeah, and it's like heavily like stylized, so it has like very harsh like kind of
Oh yeah.
contrast and stuff. But
Yeah, check out how
it did
thin
pretty
some
good.
of these like his legs are. So super
Mhm.
surprised that that even came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely super cool. That I'm impressed that AI is able to generate this with just an image.
Yeah.
Take a look at like some text, like some prompt to text to model tools in the following weeks.
All
But
right.
yeah, that the first go, yeah, this is super cool. This is something I can hand over to Gavin and be like, all right, here you go, do some rigging, learn how to do some weight painting, so you can like do some T poses on them or whatever, or doing some UV mapping to get like the texture plopped back into him, or even cutting up the mesh so that you can take it into Bamboo Studio and like color each section, so we can do like a 4-color print for this.
Nice.
Or for the 5-year-old, so you can go in there with acrylic paint and then just paint that in.
All right, and that's I guess gonna do it for this week's rapid render. We'll try to do more of these in the coming weeks, but that's our first one. Rapid render. Need a theme song. I think Liz said she'd like to do a theme song.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, one funny thing too, we were talking about where all of these are hosted. Huggy
Yeah.
Face,
I
Hugging
mean,
Face. We were laughing. It's like, is this the new GeoCities for?
yeah. So
I'd
this
say
is
maybe.
it reminds me of like a glitch IO kind of thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or a GitHub kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All
There's
right,
a
so that's
bunch of
Hugging
the
Face.
AI tools here. I'm
Cool.
thinking, is this where the list was generated for a bunch of the tools we'll be looking at?
All right. All right. That's the segment. We're gonna cut this out and post it as a standalone segment, so you'll be able to share that if you want on all the socials. All right, let me catch up here on some comments. All right, we got links to the Hugging Face Trellis site if folks want to play with it.
See some nice
Some nice
things.
thing Blender will.
I tried that. It would not let me for some reason.
Yeah.
It was just blanked out. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I tried that JBL model import.
Yeah, it said that the site doesn't, the Trellis site doesn't let you download an STL. I've never heard of a GLB file, or even an OBJ would be more of a standard mesh, like an object, an OBJ file.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard. So weird to see a JLB. Sorry. Okay. Maybe there's an add-on you need for Blender to do the JLB. I think they have add-ons and stuff. Okay. And then we have Nikita is asking if you can add animations to the trellis 3D model. Not at this moment. It's kind of like a static model, and you can't really iterate on that. You can't like say, hey, make the eyes bigger, add another arm, or thicken the legs. You can't currently do that with this tool. So
I see that as being like a lot of work, especially with a model like this. Like, how is AI going to know where an eyeball goes for a dinosaur that is a piano? You know, so
yeah,
there's where the modeler is just using AI as a tool.
Yeah, there's probably another tool out there that can kind of puppeteer a model kind of thing. I've seen something, but I don't know what the name of it is. But there's stuff around, I think, that can probably do that.
Yeah.
All right, we got QuinMan16 asking if we can add a switch extension to the Sparkle Motion case so that we can access the, the USB PD. That's a good point. I wonder if we can do that. I'll give that a shot. It's a little tight here, but yeah, that might be that's one of those things. Is like I want to keep the case simple and not to have too many add-ons and cuts and stuff like that. You could always open the case and just flick the switch. How often are you changing the USB?
I was going to mention that too. Yeah,
so that's why I kind of chose not to have access to it. And I think the service we use, JLC PCB, doesn't like multi parts, or at least they didn't before. Maybe they do now. But yeah, I'll give that a try. Maybe the FDM model can support it. Cool.
So we got Yanni's posting the plugin for Blender in here, and then some nice is saying that to drag the JBL onto the editor to export the STL.
Oh, very nice. Good. That's a good tip. Excellent. Yeah, we'll give it a shot because seems like we'll probably be using more GLB files. Yeah.
I looked it up. I forgot what the acronym was for it. Global something.
Global Light Binary. Yeah. Nikita's saying, how about you print yourself portraits? Yeah, we did that in early days, like 2013. 3D scanning was a big thing, and we
photogrammetry.
Yeah, but that took like a ton of photos. With the
that's exactly what it did. Import JLTF, and it was just grayed out.
Yeah, I don't even have Blender installed. So.
I have not closed it. And the only reason I know Blender is because of all the years using Maya. So I had to like change all my key commands to what the Maya key commands are.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, you got
at Maker Faire, one of the sculpting 3D printing guys there was saying the same thing. It was like, you can only do that for so much when you're watching tutorial because they'll start, they're not going to tell you the Maya key commands. They're going to tell you all the Blender key commands for you to transfer over. So it's like, yep. Well, I don't have access to Maya anymore. I forgot how much. Paid like $7,000, like 12 years ago when we were using it heavily for video games.
Yeah. Yeah, Blender's where it's at for this mesh modeling.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thanks for the tips and comments, everybody. Hopefully this segment will be a fun one.
Yeah, we got some funny ones when we were testing some of them out, where you were like, oh, some assembly required when you tried modeling some CAD stuff from the text prompts with
yeah, maybe I'll do that one next week. It's called Zoo app or something. It's more about parametric modeling, so it's not meant for organic mesh. It's solid models, which is great. So I was able to like say, well, we'll do this next week's segment where I made a box. I told it how big the box is. I told it how thick the box is, how tall it is. And then it's almost like OpenSCAD code where there's a side panel with parameters. It's parametric, and then you can tweak those. So it's kind of building this parametric model for you, but it's got to be kind of, geometric, not organic, like a polygon model. But then like I'll tell it to make a fork and it like can't do it. It like creates crap, or I'll say a chair and it makes crap. But then you can say spatula and it'll make a perfect spatula.
Oh, funny.
It's like actually printable, and
Wow.
it gives you step files so you can bring those in. So that'll be next week's thing, because that is completely different than a mesh model, because
Totally.
it's all about iterating the parameters in this model to get what you want. And then you can take it a step further by bringing that step file into a solid modeling environment like Fusion 360, and then like actually print that, add user parameters so you can modify it. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So we'll talk about that next week. A little bit less interesting than the piano dinosaur, but
no, I mean, I'm happy that we're able to touch on this for the kids, since this will probably be their first introduction into doing 3D modeling, would be character mesh modeling for video games. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
And just like our career, it'll go into modeling for cases. And
right.
Squid is echoing that, saying that most of the modeling he does is enclosures inside of OpenSCAD.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll definitely like the Zoo app.
Actually, that's what Jeff too on the team.
Yeah,
he loves doing the
it's very programmatic.
Code.
Yep.
Yeah, modeling in code.
Yep. And of course, Tinkercad is also similar. You have like code that you can generate.
And if you're not on the Discord, definitely join in there. Discord.gg/Adafruit. Some nice is also saying where the preferences to enable the JBL import is. This looks just like Maya, where you got to tell it import TIFFs, import FBXs.
Oh yeah.
So you just got to tell it to import, which is funny. It should be default.
Right. Cool. Then I just posted a link for squid.jpg to the kind of solid modeling AI tool, and it has text to prompt, so I can say make a gear, a gear with 32 teeth, 14 pressure angle, and it'll generate it for you, or at least it'll try to. So it's more for like the engineer that wants like practical solid models. Cool. Yeah, cool. So playing with it, and we'll talk about that one next week.
Yeah, we'll continue to use the AI tools as they get better.
Yeah, at least just try them out,
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Discussion on people being all negative on that AI type stuff, but it's like, well, AI isn't going to design something for itself, though. There'll always be a job for us to use it as a tool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What was the funniest one where they were making like funny videos? It's like, well, the human still had to do all that input. It still had to scrape all the data to be able to know how to generate any of those images.
Yeah.
AI doesn't have culture, so so we still come in.
That's funny. All right, let's jump into the next segment here. We got a little bit of time left here, 10 minutes, so we'll run through some stuff. Let's do Timelapse Tuesday in the community makes. So this week for Timelapse Tuesday, we have a volumetric lattice as a practical print. So I've been seeing a lot of this design concept of like making a lattice and then turning that into like a tray, a bowl. In this case, it's a bit of a holder for this Magsafe wireless charger, I think, from Apple or whoever else. So this is really cool. So it's got this lattice structure that's built up from just like these lines basically, and it creates this solid form, and then it has this cutout for Magsafe chargers. You're charging your AirPods here, and you're using this really cool color changing filament, silky PLA that's really good because it changes the color as you rotate the lattice. It's got like this different kind of gradient almost looking look to it.
Yeah, it looks super cool. If you check out the designer's page for this, a lot of their designs use this technique. Looks super cool when they're all together. But yeah, this is a really cool way to sort of stylize your MagSafe charger, and fits in the little AirPods in there perfectly. I wish I could put my phone on there,
Yeah.
but because of the way that it divots,
Curved, yeah.
it's only the AirPod case.
Yep.
But yeah, the installation is super simple. There's a little space for the wire to go into right there. A little, it's called a little like enforcer, so it doesn't bend.
Mm.
Just press fits in like that. This is pretty heavy though. I should have looked at the settings that I was using.
Well, you want it to be heavy, I guess, to hold the weight so it's not sliding around, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So solid bottom is like a thick bottom base.
It's mostly these
There you
guys
go.
are like
Yeah, you can see right through that. Yeah.
thick and heavy.
Hmm.
I think it was like what 180 grams or something. So it's pretty hefty.
Nice. It's a free model, I believe.
Yes.
Let's take a look here at the website. This was Abstractica design on Maker World. Here's a couple of photos of it. I'm not sure if this is a render. No, I think it's real. I can see some layer lines. But then again, I've been seeing a lot of 3D models with the layer lines built in, and it's a generated CGI. So it's hard to tell these days. You know, is it real or not? Because I see all these shadows, and you know, maybe it's just a good photo.
It's like this looks too picture perfect.
It looks too picture perfect. Yeah, like picture perfect, right?
Looks like a fusion render.
So here is the 3D model in. You get that effect there with all the little blades and stuff. I wonder why this is flat here. This is like solid.
It is.
Sure. Why is this
that
solid?
part is. Yeah, that part is.
Yeah, I wonder why it's solid instead of just like this. I guess because it has to hold it. It has to like merge it in somehow. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of tried this effect and I wasn't able to get anywhere with it. Anyway, it's a free download. Oh wait, here's the video of it. Let me mute that. Yeah, that's a render, 100%.
I was gonna say that camera move.
The camera angles, like you're either doing that with a robot or
the robot
CGI.
arm.
But it prints it. I mean, it prints.
Yeah.
No supports needed. There's a couple of other designs, yeah. And people have printed it. Here's people printing it. You didn't scale it or anything. It's just printed as is, right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, if I scale it, it would have not fit the MagSafe. Qi charger.
Yeah. And you just kind of click on your printer and you click open in Bamboo and it's tell it what filament you want. Cool. All right. So check that out. Let me drop the link for folks on all the places. And squid.jpg has a comment on the Zoo app is from the people who make KittyCAD. KittyCAD sounds fun. I actually don't know about KittyCAD. And then Yanni's singing good MagSafe one. Yeah. And squid.jpg. I'm kind of the same similar boat with the sentiment that I'm oblivious ignorant about AI. I'm still giving applications a chance to wow me.
Yeah, I think it's like the AI broke culture, like the Bitcoin people.
Yeah, I get that
turn us
vibe
off
too.
to that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So
is until we see it used as an actual tool, it's like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Shout out for PT Phil for egging us on to like, hey, try to make a segment and try these tools out. Here's the list of them. And it's like, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot.
Yep, we have a whole list, so we'll be going through these for all the future episodes.
Yep. And we're slowly getting more AI tools integrated into our everyday apps. For me, Fusion 360, my main go-to app, auto constraints is something that might be helpful, but for me personally, it's not because I'm pretty proficient in constraints. And it reminds me of like the auto router for engineers that do PCB design. They would never do an auto router. Unless it's gotten really good, then maybe an auto router makes sense. But for me, like I know exactly what my sketch constraints need to be. I don't need to like click a button and have them constrained for me because I know exactly the shape I'm trying to get. So that's my rant about auto constraint. Yeah. And then of course there's the generative tool in Fusion 360 that will like bridge this square to this pipe, and it's kind of like the loft tool, but it like generates its own weird organic thing that's optimizing for material. I don't have a need for that yet, so I don't know. Maybe we'll try those out in this segment. But it's supposed to be about a rapid render, you know?
Yeah. I like it for when they integrate it into like Premiere. So when sometimes we have a small space to work with, so we have to cut things off because our background, our little
Yeah.
backdrop.
Yep.
So we have to like constrain, and then we have to edit to like 16:9 for socials.
Yeah.
We have to
For
cut
portrait.
things out. It'd be nice. They already have it in beta, but I'm
Oh,
waiting
yeah.
for it to come out.
Yeah.
The final version where you can scale a video and it regenerates your background, like a video of it, you know. They have it in beta.
Yeah. The other day I took a photo of something, and I needed to like resize it to be a different crop aspect ratio, and like I was able to generate that extra sides in Photoshop, and it was like as lines, because it's like a cut mat with all the dimensions and lines, and it was able to do it perfectly, and I was like, okay, this is good. And it's in Photoshop, and yeah, we still use Photoshop for those sort of things. So yeah, it's getting better.
Yep.
All right, let's quickly run through our community makes. This week we have a handful of makes that were sent to us, starting off with this 8x8 NeoPixel matrix square LED pixel display. This was posted up by Pavel Minar on printables.com, and it looks like they 3D printed their diffuser in the kind of white or clear PLA. It looks pretty good. You can see the layer lines, but it kind of adds some texture to it, which is fun. So yeah, good make, and still a fun little matrix display. All right, after that we have this remix from Ken Sikora on printables.com. Let me read this to you. So this is the model. It's the lightsaber, RP2040 lightsaber project, and you got all these different pieces. And let's take a quick look at all these little kind of bips and bobs and add-ons. Look at some knurling, a lot of fun details for the emitter, the hilt. It's just a lot of fun stuff. So Ken writes, I teach a summer Star Wars class that accumulates in every student building their own lightsaber. I didn't want every student making the exact lightsaber, so I started deriving the original 3D models into mix and match alternatives, which might have gotten out of hand. Fusion files included for each, as well as blank models for customization in case you want to go overboard creating your own. Please share alike so that I can have even more options for the students. Note, Pommel B and Pommel K were somehow named both Pommel B. He renamed both the Fusion STL and didn't triple check. Okay, cool. This is really cool to see that.
This is amazing.
Like a professor, a teacher are taking these models and adding and making it customizable so that they can use this in their curriculum, which is super cool.
This is a digital version of the little make your own star saber that they have like at a Star Wars Land.
Yeah, I mean, these are just incredible. Like, look at all these different.
So cool.
Yeah, and they all have the standardized, threading, so they're all gonna work with each other. And it just comes down to picking your parts or creating your own parts, and then just kind of using the core. And that's what the lightsaber from the Disney park has, where they have like this standard core, and then you add all these dressings that slide or snap into the main core, which is cool. So it's cool to see this kind of being done with the Adafruit prop maker RP2040. That's super cool. So shout out to Ken.
The setup is for this at Galaxy's Edge. It's like a
you're given like a tray of like all these like
here's all the cheaper one.
The cheaper one. Yeah,
it's like $30, I think, or $20.
Yeah, it's like $20-$30.
Yeah, where you go through and each section is like you go in order of putting your pommel, and then you're picking your blade and picking the handle.
Yeah, pretty cool. Haven't seen this before, so this is like the first time seeing it. 81 files here.
Wow.
Yeah. And all the Fusion 360 files are available as well, which is awesome. And here's the original for folks, if you don't remember. Now folks can dual extrude this with their bamboos, which is great. Yeah. Yeah. Still one of my favorite projects. All right. So moving along here. We're going over time now. Here is an Instagram. I just kind of stumbled onto this. It wasn't sent to us, but I thought I'd share it because it's like a video of assembling the Guardian sword from The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild video game. And it just looks fantastic. It's a nice edit too. It's really cool when you can put together like a supercut edit of assembling a DIY electronics project. So this is from Dan CYN 3D Prints on Instagram. And yeah, you can see them gluing all the pieces together and then having it light up with that fantastic kind of swipe effect. Very cool.
I believe there hasn't been a more recent popular Zelda weapon for us to do.
Yeah.
It's like the Guardian one that keeps getting remade.
Yeah, it's funny. This one just is so cool looking, I guess. You did the Ultra Hand with the latest Zelda game, but
yeah,
I don't know. A couple folks made it. All right, and then the last to round us off is the heat set insert rig. This was posted up by Crux USA. They did some heavily modifications to the build with this soldering iron clamp, which is really nice and beefy. They have a different linear rail. I think it looks like a different linear rail. A Weller soldering iron, which is a heavy duty soldering iron. Let's see. Looks like the idler might be different too. The base is wood. These are fantastic photos too of the build. And I think the counterweight looks about the same where it slides, and it's still using a string. But I really like that clamp. That's a nice clamp, nice and chonky. So you're gonna have less play and wiggle. I'll quickly read this portion. He says, "I really like the original Adafruit heat set insert press, but I wanted to use my Weller soldering iron and a spare linear rail that he had. Also has a great, also some great remix parts from the Adafruit design. So I incorporated that in what I feel is best remix parts. So here's all the hardware that he used. Very cool. Yeah, this is still continues to like get so many remixes." And then the last one is yet another one. This was posted up by apant1 on printables. This is modified for a drill press, like a heavy duty drill press. So it looks like it has like the soldering iron clamp with some additions to this this drill press, which is cool. Let's quickly read through this. Installed heat set insert straight and easily. The rail system attaches to Chris Borges' awesome model 3D drill press and holds onto the hot soldering iron using the Adafruit clamp. The height of the soldering iron can be set by pushing the 2 pins into the slots onto the mount to lock it into place. Very cool. And it's a remix of 2 different things here. So you're getting remixes of remixes derived from remixes to create a new remix. A remix inception going on with this project. You can, of course, purchase these heat set insert rigs from Amazon these days, but people continue to just kind of like, hey, I got some parts. I got a drill press. Might as well repurpose it. I got the soldering iron. Might as well remix it. So, yeah, very cool. And that is all the community makes this week. Thank you, everybody, for posting your community makes. Thank you for Pedro for posting those links up there. Here is an audio reactive effect from WLED. Hello, hello, hello. All right, folks, we're going to close out the show. We went a little bit over, but we're still trying out how to do this new segment on AI tools. So bear with us as we get that going. Don't forget, if you want to support the show, Adafruit as a whole, you can use our discount code to get 10% off your order. Steamcoat is the code. All right. Later tonight, we have more shows. Starting off with Show and Tell. Starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be hosted by Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada. Come on by the Adafruit Discord server a little bit before the show, and you'll get an invite link so you can share your projects with the community. And then Ask an Engineer starts at 8 p.m., where Lamar and Phil will answer your questions at the end of the show. We got new products, open source hardware news, Ion MPI, and more. JP's workshop is off tomorrow, as he is off, and he'll be back next week, I think. And then I think Friday is a deep dive with either Tim or Scott. And then Sundays are still from the desk of Lady Ada. On Sundays, Mondays is the CircuitPython weekly meeting. Tuesdays is JP's product pick of the week. This week it was the pressure sensor with a really cool demo. I got a lot of inspiration from that demo with the sip and puff demo for the pressure sensor. It's really cool. Thinking maybe a musical instrument. Yeah, that you like blow into, like a digital trumpet or something. Yeah. Or a digital hookah. I don't know. Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for the show. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming in and watching. We'll see you next week. But until then, remember to make a great day. Bye, everybody.